I talked stars and travel to India. We talked about design and how it's changed, and a little bit about a bullseye quilt. I'm Pat Sloan, and that is what the topics were for my podcast today. But first, before I tell you about my guests and what we did in this quick little video, I want to show you what I found. I found this old mic, so probably wasn't used for radios, but I just thought it was really cool. So I have it up on my shelf. It has the cord with it, and the shipping department cleaned it up for me because it's kind of dusty. Got it in an antique shop, but I just thought it was really, really cool. I love the shape of it. Can't use it for the show. Instead, I use the headset, and Skype, which is all really good. I love technology. So I had Heather Long first of Coffee and Quilts, and we talked about her star quilt and how she went about creating it for the Moda Bake Shop. Then I talked with Sujata Shah of Root Connection. Root Connection is where she does all her writing under her business name, and she is a fabulous, fabulous designer. I've met her quite a few years ago, and we were catching up because I had been following all of her postings about her trips to India. She's from India originally, and she's taking quilters there now. So we talked about the type of travel it was, the type of trips that she's taking, plus a little bit about her quilts, which are fabulous. You really do need to follow Sujata. She does fabulous work. Then I talked with Kim Schaefer of Little Quilt Company, and if you look on your shelves, you probably have her fabric or some of her books or some of her patterns. They're just darling, and she has this super great design background, and we talked about what were some of the things that she did as a really young woman coming out of school that sort of formed where she went with her business. And you'll hear about QVC, a really funny story there. Then I had my friend Becky Goldsmith on from Piece of Cake, and I've talked to Becky quite a few times. She was one of my very, very, very early guests when I first started my podcast, almost 9 years ago. And she has this brand new quilt called a Bullseye that's based on an antique quilt that she saw and just could not get out of her head, and has figured out a way to make it into a pattern, which is a small book. And she talked through the process a bit and colors. So she's got some really, really great tips. It's an amazing, amazing quilt. You might want to be picking that up and getting that so that you could work on it someday. This week, I am really rolling along with the plans that I have for 2019, getting some of the work fixed up. I have to kind of work ahead on some of it, and that is my goal for this week. I really will be posting about that and sharing it. Plus, I have the 12 days of being thankful, and today is number 2 day. And so you want to go over to my Facebook group and join in the conversation and just meet some new people and have some fun. So I'm Pat Sloan, and the links are down here so you can listen to the podcast right on the website, or you can download it, or you can subscribe by one of your favorite channels that you use, like iTunes or Stitchers or one of those. So I'm Pat Sloan. See you later.